Top 20 Foods from South Korea to Try in 2023. TheFoodellers.com. In recent years, South Korea has become famous for being the land of K-pop, K-dramas, K-beauty, tech giants. But there's so much more to this East Asian tiger than the above trends. It's its food, a true pleasure for food lovers. From kimchi to soju, Korean barbecue, fried chicken, South Korea has a lot to offer, and traveling for food is one of the best things to experience the country at its best. Eating in South Korea is such an experience that food is considered one of the primary elements of socialization. It is no coincidence, in fact, that as soon as you set foot in a restaurant, the first thing you notice is the long tables that host many people and that are shared, both by people who know each other and by complete strangers. Sit down and get ready, because in this guide we will show you a list of South Korean foods you have to try. Read also, how to organize a trip to South Korea. Bibimbap, bibimbap. Kimchi, gimchi. Banchan, banchan. Pajan, himulpajan. Samgyeopsal, samgyeopsal. Tteokbokki, tteokbokki. Hatak, hatiag. Seollaongtang, seollaongtang. Odeng, ayomak, odeng. Bunjapong, bunjapong. Naengmyeon, naengmyeon. Ganjang jijang, ganjingjang. 13. Soju, soju. Kimchi jjigae, kimchi jjigae. Sanachi, sanaji. Tuk, tug. Yekgwa, yagwa. Mandu, mandu. Takabi, dokabi. Gyeran ppang, gyelanpong. Top 20 South Korean foods to try. Here are some of the best and most special dishes that can be found everywhere in South Korea and that we have had the opportunity to taste during our trip. Top 20 South Korean foods to try. 1. Bibimbap, bibimbap. The dish par excellence of Korean cuisine consists of rice, vegetables of different kinds, minced meat, and an egg that is usually left raw. It is considered one of the healthiest dishes in the world as it contains all the nutrients our body needs, and it is usually served inside of stone or aluminum bowls in such a way that it never gets cold. Jeonju is the home of the bibimbap, to the point that a festival is also dedicated to this dish. The peculiarity of Jeonju bibimbap is that the rice is not cooked in water but in a broth. 2. Kimchi, gimchi. Kimchi is a spicy and sour dish made up of fermented cabbage, but it can be made with other vegetables as well. Kimchi has a unique flavor, as well as its high nutritional value and low calorie content. On top of this, it's considered essential to any dish. 3. Banchan, banchan. A series of appetizers served at the table and designed to be shared, ranging from a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 20. But each restaurant serves as many as they want, always including a bowl of soup or steamed rice. 4. Pajan, himulpajan. The Korean pancake, which the Koreans also call pizza, is a dish that cannot be ignored. The most popular version is the one with onions and fish, but also the kimchi pajan is unmissable. A middle ground between a pancake and an omelette, the pajan is really nice to eat after a long walk, accompanied by appetizers. Koreans love their barbecue, and in all the restaurants there are special places where you can try your hand at cooking meat and vegetables. There is barbecue of all types and all contemplate meat and vegetables, with pork that has the biggest role and the samgyeopsal, the bacon, being another great protagonist. Korean pork is special compared to ours, much more tender and full-bodied, is bred outdoors and on the ground, and often fed with special plants, for example green tea, that make it even more unique. 6. Tteokbokki, tteokbokki. Very stringy and chewy rice gnocchi that are seasoned with a very hot sauce and served in restaurants and on the street. Difficult to avoid them because the curiosity is really a lot, but they are so hot that at the first bite you immediately think to let them go. Accompanied by a bottle of makgeolli, the Korean rice wine, they are perfect. 7. Hatak, hatiag. One of the best street desserts. Pancakes that can be more or less soft and that are filled with brown sugar syrup, honey, chopped peanuts, and cinnamon. They cause addiction despite the calories. A whitish soup prepared using the bones of the ox let cook in water for many hours. It is served with meat and onions, often also chili powder to give more spiciness to the dish. A sort of fish pancake served with fish broth. It can be found on the street and in markets all over the country, alongside fried foods of all kinds that can be eaten standing up or sitting down. 10. Bunjapong, bunjapong. A mix between the dough of a waffle and the dough of a roll of rice. The bunjapong is a classic dessert filled with red bean cream which is given the shape of a fish. It is also found filled with custard. 11. Naengmyeon, naengmyeon. Cold noodles, served with or without meat, and available all year round but particularly palatable when temperatures are high. 12. Ganjang jjiang, ganjingjang. Ganjang jjiang is a fresh raw crab marinated in soy sauce. It is stewed and served whole, leaving to the guests the task of cleaning. 13. Soju, soju. The beverage par excellence in South Korea, a transparent alcoholic drink very similar to vodka and grappa. You drink at the end of the meal but also to accompany the food and is sold in bottles. Kimchi soup is very famous and loved in South Korea. It's traditionally made with pork, kimchi, and tofu. Definitely spicy, this soup uses a special type of kimchi that is fermented to a certain extent so to get the best flavors out. 15. Sanachi, sanaji. The famous raw octopus, seasoned with oil and sesame seeds. The octopus still moves when it is served and for this reason, it can cause suffocation. The tentacles, in fact, can attach themselves to the mucous membranes of the throat and cause suffocation, which is why the authorities also recommend being careful when you consume it. It can be made with other types of fish, all raw. 16. Tug. The traditional Korean rice cake, similar to Japanese mochi but more glutinous and chewy. Wheat flour, sesame oil, honey, liqueur, and ginger juice mixed and fried in oil, before being immersed in honey. One of the sweetest biscuits ever, to be accompanied with something bitter or completely without sugar. The classic dumplings can be fried, steamed in the pan, and are always served with sauces of various types and kimchi. One of the most loved street foods by Koreans, hot dogs covered with fries. 20. Gyeoran ppang, gyeonpong. Egg panini, where the egg is opened directly in the batter which is cooked on an oval grid that allows giving the characteristic shape.